Hey guys, we're starting this record again. Hello guys, welcome back. Underwater astrology. Yes, we had to clarify some of the North Node Aries for you guys so we could get a better horoscope. But yes, so we are doing the horoscope for the new moon in fact, Leo. And that will be August 16th, 2023. North Node Aries is happening, and that's happening July 18th, 2023. And we also have the lovely event of Venus retrograde July 22nd to September 3rd. We have some retrogrades at the end of August. We have the Uranus retrograde, and we also have the Jupiter retrograde coming up this year. But I do want to go over what's already in retrograde. We have Pluto in retrograde since May 1st. That started in Aquarius, is going back in Capricorn. Then we had the Saturn retrograde that started June 17th, the Saturn retrograde. And then we had the Neptune retrograde start June 30th, and that ends December 6th. So we have some retrogrades happening. I'm not really talking about the retrogrades in this specific video, but I am talking about the new moon and where Mercury is and the aspects of the sun, of the new moon, and of Mercury to each of the 12 zodiac signs. You can apply this to your rising, to your sun. We start off with Aries. So, Aries, the sun in Leo is falling in the 5th house the day of the new moon on August 16th, 2023. The new moon is also falling in Leo and the Mercury in Virgo. So, very simply, the sun in Leo is falling in the 5th house. And this house rules, this is your ego here. Aries, you guys are feeling your ego wrapped up in love, creativity, inner child, and children. The new moon is here to set intentions around the same themes. Mercury in Virgo is here falling in your 6th house of routine, environment, and health. And work as well. And that's asking you to be more detail oriented around these things around this time. With all the 5th house energy, maybe you feel like you can effortlessly attract one of those aspects to your life with this new moon. Maybe you could attract more inner child work. Maybe you could attract more aspects of your love life you want to engage with, or even self-love, or even work with more creative aspects, arts, here, creativity. It's super important to use the new moon to set your intention, Aries, because the North Node is in your sign, starting July 18th, 2023, and also Chiron, the asteroid here, is coupling up with the North Node in your 1st house. So, I want you guys to feel the energy. North Node is in your 1st house, of Aries in your 1st house. So that's saying it's going to be a healing year, and it's going to be how you want to be seen, felt, and heard authentically, because Chiron here adds authenticity. Because it's healing, it brings out more of your true nature. And I think this is a great time to work with the inner child or work with children if you have children, and get more detail oriented about how you want your environment to be. Is it healing? Is it sustainable? Is it effective for if you have children? If you working with your inner child? If you're working with love life and attracting new love, how can I change my environment to make me feel seen? And that's what you're working with around this new moon, Aries. So, have a lovely new moon, Aries. Let's move on to Taurus and Taurus rising. Okay, put simply, the sun in Leo is falling in your 4th house at this time. The new moon is also coupled up in the same house. And Mercury in Virgo is falling in the 5th house here. So, Taurus, with all this 4th house, energy. Maybe you feel more at peace with yourself because you've kind of healed some aspects with the North Node and Aries in your 12th house of the subconscious mind, and Chiron here coupled up with the North Node. Maybe you feel like your ego really wants to show your new self in some way. Maybe you feel like you want to be seen in a new, because Mercury is in here, Taurus rising, maybe it's you want to be expressing love in a different way to your family or to even your home life, or even just you have higher intuition and you feel love about it because you've worked on yourself. Jupiter is here in Taurus in your sign. So it's benefic and you feel that aspect. So you here have jovial energy to really feel at peace with yourself right now, Taurus rising. But the Sun in Leo is squaring Taurus. So to me, it tells me there is spiritual work here. There are going to be challenges. So even when you put your intention of having a more radically better family life or home life or a better relationship with your higher intuition, there is going to be challenging aspects because it's a square. But Jupiter here is giving you that energy of, I really, really feel as though I don't have to put so much stress on this. And that's usually a square. It's like the universe is already showing you there's tension. It gets released through letting things take care of itself, letting things solve itself. That is the best part of a square. It's really important to take it easy on yourself because I feel if you try to put too much pressure with the square, with the Sun in Leo, with Venus and Leo here coupled up in a retrograde, squaring your Sun in your 4th house as well, and you're already in a reflective state of looking back and looking at home life and what's worked out and looking at your higher intuition and zooming in on your family and feeling, okay, this is working, this is not. This is already a time where the reflection is enough. You don't have to do that much. I say keep going on with your life. Set some positive intentions for your home life and you'll be set, Taurus. Let's move forward to Gemini. Gemini. The Sun in Leo is falling in your 3rd house. Gemini rising. The Sun in Leo is falling in your 3rd house. The new moon is also falling in your 3rd house, and the Mercury in Virgo is falling in your 4th house. So there's a lovely trine with the Sun in Leo and Gemini. So again, there is an effortless flow. It's a lot less tense than other seasons. The energy is just flow, communication. You feel at home. You take this fire energy of Leo and you spread it like a wildfire. And you do a great job at it, Gemini. And you really feel connected to communication around this time. Venus will be in retrograde at Leo at this time. So you may be more reflective on how things are getting treated in communication and your communication style. Simply. Either or. But I do think it is a really good time to review communication, siblings, short distance travel, because that's how you feel, Leo, Gemini rising. So I truly think it's a great time to go on a short distance trip to a place you love and you feel a connection to, with Mercury, detail-oriented Mercury being in Virgo in your 4th house of home. So Mercury is all about the thinking mind, and it's so beautiful here coupled up with the Sun in Leo, semi-sextiling the Sun in Leo, urging you to, maybe you want to see a local band, or maybe you want to see local energy of like a waterfall, or maybe you want to see something local. And when Mercury here is falling in your 4th house, it really is connected to your higher intuition. So maybe you go to a place and you feel super connected to it. And with the new moon here falling in your third house of communication, siblings, and short distance travel on August 16th, 2023, maybe there is a special aspect of yourself that you feel ignited with at this place. I'm really excited for you, Gemini. Truly looks like an amazing new moon for you guys. Let's also not forget to mention North Node in Aries will be falling in your 11th house, and Chiron is also there in your 11th house. So yes, it is really about healing through your friend groups and feeling like who is the best circle to hang out with, because sometimes you feel as though you're trying to appease to everyone, and that could be exhausting with Chiron in the 11th house. So maybe you're working through who really sees you for who you are. Because Chiron is your authentic, so Aries is the self, right? But Chiron is the authenticity of something. So with Chiron and Aries, it's like the authentic self. And I really think you have a great chance to work through that with this new moon and find places you love and do short distance travel and be connected and feel connected to places as well, not just people. Okay, moving forward. Cancer, Cancerians. Hello, Cancerians. How are you guys doing? Cancer rising. The sun in Leo is falling in your second house, and the new moon in Leo is also falling in your second house. Mercury in Virgo is falling in your third house. So this is a great time to review how you treat yourself, Cancer. Because let me tell you why. With all the second house energy, you'll feel connected to your sense of self-worth and how you feel valued. Because that's where the sun and the moon are placed, and that's how it's aspecting your sign, and it's a semi-sextile between the sun and new moon and Cancer. So it's a semi-sextile to Cancer, right? So it's irritating you. So it's not an irritation. It's almost like a nudge, like a Facebook nudge. Hey, like, really, come on, Cancer. Like, what are you valuing? Where are you placing your self-esteem? Who are you placing your hands in the self-esteem of? Like, why are you giving yourself away? Because Mercury here is falling in the third house, the detail-oriented sign of Virgo, in your third house, which is asking you to be more detail-oriented in your communication. Are you giving yourself away too much to the wrong thing? I think it's a perfect time to set new moon intentions on August 16th, 2023 with how you value yourself and the people around you. Because Venus will also be in retrograde from July 22nd to September 3rd, 2023, in your second house of value, how you value things, self-esteem, self-worth. This means that during this time between July 22nd and September 3rd, 2023, you will be reflecting your sense of value system and self-worth. This is a great time to have a retrograde for you guys in this aspect, because your ego here is saying, I think I need to evaluate how I'm valuing myself more, because it is the Mercury in Virgo will bring up who you're giving away yourself, who you're giving your energy away in communication, and how you feel about it, and how you need to address your needs to keep your self-esteem glowing. And with the North Node in Aries in your 10th house, for the collective, since July 18th, the North Node will be in the 10th house of career, and Chiron there as well. It's very obvious to me that you have to understand who you are and where you came from to really be seen in the most authentic light. And Chiron here is authenticity. and Aries is the self, so the authentic self. Maybe there are situations that are best avoiding at this time, Cancer, because you are very special, Cancerians, but some people don't value things that the way they need to be, and you're very nice and compassionate. And I see with North Node Aries rushing to be seen in the 10th house could somewhat need shadow work with who you are. And relationship to the energy of career and reputation is healing, and that there is healing potentiality, and you can tap into that. But remember, Aries is fire, and you're a water sign. So that energy is a square. So there will be times when there will feel like there will be a little bit of stress with this North Node, because it wants you to realize that things resolve itself if you don't just act on everything you feel. And that's what the universe is kind of urging you to realize this new moon with falling in your second house is don't act on everything you feel. Learn how to value yourself and not be valued by others all the time. Let's move into Leo. Hello, lovely Leos. Happy birthday to all you beautiful Leos. I want to be clear, Leo. The sun here is falling in your first house, and the new moon here is also falling in your first house. Mercury in Virgo is also falling in your second house of self-esteem and how you value things and yourself. So I think this is a time when you feel connected to your first house of personality and how you want to be seen, heard, and felt. It's important here on the new moon to make sure you are setting new intentions with that beautiful new moon in Leo for how you want to better conduct the way you appear to others or even yourself. Venus will be in retrograde in your sign, in your first house, from July 22nd to September 3rd, meaning that you want to be seen in a different light. Or maybe you will be seen in a different light by the end of this, because North Node in Aries is in your 9th house. And Chiron in Aries is also in your 9th house. So what I see is that you are trining with this North Node in Aries. You are in your home sign, in your season, and I see you guys developing more healing and better belief systems that are easier, that are fluid, that are less difficult than any other time, because you're in your season. North Node is in Aries starting July 18th, trining Leo, making everything seem a bit less, I don't know, like you're pushing a rock up a hill with North Node Taurus. And that was just a much different aspect for you guys, because Taurus to Leo, so Leo and Taurus are a square. So you guys are like pushing up a rock up a mountain, and now it's a lot easier, and all you have to do this season is incorporate more radical awareness of how you're seen, felt, and heard, and what aspects of yourself do you want to see in yourself grow. Because the 9th house is all about growth, higher belief systems, higher education. I really do see you guys figuring stuff out a lot quicker, and also literally new shades of light falling on you guys during your solar return. So I'm very happy for you guys. Moving forward, Virgo. So Virgo, the sun in Leo is Leo, I might add, you might want to set new intentions, because Mercury here is falling in your second house. It'll help set the new moon intentions August 16, 2023, of how to value yourself more and your self-esteem and how you value things. So maybe you have a moment of, maybe I've been valuing something that doesn't matter, that really does affect how I'm seen and heard, and maybe it's time to change that. And the mantras here are really going to help eliminate the fear of changing your value system to something that's much more harvesting, with Mercury and Virgo falling in your second house. So maybe you guys, some of you were spending too much, or maybe you guys, some of you just didn't feel super connected to yourself because of your value system. And around this time, you feel like, oh, if I just change a little bit of my value system, then maybe it will be easier for me to save money for the right things, or even just feel like you're more seen for your authentic self. You're like your soul, not all the like bouginess. You know what I mean? Because Leo's very, very like showy at times. Some of the Leos are very showy. So it's really nice to have this calming Mercury and Virgo kind of earth Leos and bring in that harvesting energy of, maybe this is a season of Mercury where I focus on what I already have, what I already own, and kind of work with what I already have. Because Jupiter's in Taurus and it's already in that sign, that aspect of what I have, right? So you're already feeling Jupiter in your 10th house. So it's already expanding your career. And maybe it's a time where you guys just need to be recognized more and learn to receive love and stay in the confidence, rather than exerting so much energy on things that have enough energy to sustain and like be sustained through. Because remember, Taurus is like a boulder and it doesn't stop. It's like anything you invest in that has high quality, the quality builds. If you invest in something that has low quality, the quality diminishes. So with here, I feel like you guys have some of you have really invested in your career, and it really is about learning to take a step back and not freak out and be like, yeah, there is enough. Just keep pushing the message, keep pushing the vibration, and you'll be fine. Let's go into Virgo. So Virgo, the sun in Leo is falling in your 12th house. And the new moon in Leo is also here falling in your 12th house. Mercury in Virgo is falling in your first house. So for the lovely Virgos, you guys are going through a radical time of transformation. This is the time when you are connected to that higher intuition. Around this new moon, August 16th, I really do want to say this is a great time to put some meditative time away from the busyness and set a little bit of time to do yoga, to do meditation, to raise your vibration, because it will clarify the intentions of some of the things that Virgos have very busy minds, and it's very good to clarify some of the intentions of some of the projects that you guys have going on. You're a mutable sign. You're here to have lots of passive income. Come on, you're Virgo. Like, you have investments in different things. You are harvesting. You are here to harvest. You are here to be humble about what you have, but you're here to have things. And for lovely Virgos, I mean, it really is a time when I do think this Venus in retrograde will be in your 12th house for a little less than 2 months. A lot less than 2 months. I want to say a month and a week, but it will be a great time to understand how you treat your subconscious mind. I think there is a connection between Venus and retrograde here with Chiron and Aries that will be great, because it will be trining to Chiron. Well, I think I didn't write this well. Venus will be in retrograde in your 12th house. So some of you will have to take time and realize this is a time about empowering those who don't have as much. This will be a time about empowering those who are not seen. This is a great time to donate to a charity and have good karma for later. This is a great time to see the underdog of a situation, people who don't have homes, people who are not respected because of their gender, this is a great time to endorse a charity that you believe in, Virgo. And I really do think that because Venus here is in retrograde in your 12th house. This is a great time for you guys to feel more connected to health and feel yourself journaling. Like, feel yourself through journaling, because North Node in Aries is here in your 8th house. So the Chiron is in your 8th house as well. So you guys are going to go through this year feeling felt, but it's going to be in a way that's unseen. And you guys are going to be like, whoa, like, people are feeling me. I'm healing through some of the things that are, it could be personality disorders that you faced, or relationships that were very unbalanced here. And this could be a really deeply healing time of this Venus retrograde, where you're working through some times where you felt deeply disempowered. And this is a great time, Virgo, to deeply empower somebody who has been disempowered. So I do really feel like it's time to get out, be seen, because Mercury's in Virgo in your 1st house, and do something highly charitable. This will bring in more energy when you guys feel low, because Sun is in Leo in your 12th house and the new moon is there. Sometimes you guys will feel like, I could really take a break. I could really just, take a nap or something, because of how the energy is a little bit more inward. And I think it's a great time to know the information on some of these charities. Verse yourself in the world of what's going on in the world, and really place yourself on the map of where you want to be seen, because by the time we go into Virgo season, you'll be like, I did all the shadow work. I know where I want to be seen and how I want to be seen. And you won't feel so like unseen, because you'll be like, I'm presenting myself, but the things you're talking about are going to be very much things that are connected to your heart. So for the new moon, I would set intentions to work towards that full moon in Pisces, which is falling on September 3rd, 2023. And that new moon in Leo is really asking you to, and that will be in your 7th house in Pisces. So I think it's a great time to understand that working through your past relationships and how you felt disempowered here, Virgo, is going to help you attract the relationships where you do feel empowered, whether that be people you randomly meet, or just future relationships or partnerships in the future. Through this Venus in retrograde, this will open up gates of entry where people who are actually on your vibration and like the things that you do will be attracted to you, because you're notating it down. So it's like really healing for you, and it really does bring healing to the things you attract. Moving forward to Libra. The Sun in Leo is, in fact, falling in your 11th house, lovely Libra, and the new moon is actually falling in your 11th house, and Mercury in Virgo is falling in your 12th house. So, lovely Libra, we have North Node Aries in your 7th house, coupled up with Chiron. This is the time where I see you guys on the new moon working towards having a new set of friends. Maybe you have a new set of goals or aspirations. Maybe you are using aspects of yourself that are unseen to be seen in this new relationship. Libra, set intentions with Libra rising. Set intentions with your dreams and aspirations here, because the Sun in Leo is, in fact, trining your sign, which means this season's going to be easy for you. Just set some intentions about your dreams and aspirations, and groups of people will be attracted to what you're focusing on. Here, Libra, it's what you focus on, you attract. And by the time we get to the full moon, September 3rd, in Pisces, it will be a great time to see these dreams practically realized, because Pisces falls in your 6th house, and that's a more practical. So here, Libra, I see you guys having better health, work routines that help you establish where you want to go, and not limiting yourself. I see you guys attracting a lot more partnerships this year and people who really see you. And I think these partnerships will be healing. So I really look forward to this North Node shift for you Librans. And I really hope you guys enjoy the new moon. Let's move forward. Scorpio. The sun in Leo is falling in your 10th house. Scorpio rising. And the new moon in Leo is falling in your 10th house. Mercury Virgo is also falling in your 11th house. So, Scorpio. The sun here falls in your 10th house. So, it's like, it's square, the sun in Leo is squaring Scorpio rising. So you guys are going to feel spiritual growth this Leo season with your career and how you're represented in your career. Mercury and Virgo wants you to understand you need to set intentions and then apply them in your groups, in your friend groups. So it's like you make a new intention, you're empowered by it, this new moon, August 16th, 2023, and you then practically orient yourself in groups and you feel the alignments of the spiritual growth with your friends to be in the limelight with what you know and enjoy the spiritual growth that you feel. I think it's so important to be with the people you love this new moon or be in the energy of what you love. And with North Node and Aries falling in your 6th house and Chiron and Aries falling in your 6th house, with the North Node and Aries in the 6th house for you this year for the collective, you feel it through your work routine and your health and environment. And it's so important to realize you're healing so much through your work life and you feel energy of healing and you feel the energy of healing and you feel like you're opening up your heart to new things, and that's actually really good for you. It's so important to be in the right group, because if you're not in the right group, you're going to feel misunderstood here, Scorpio. If you're constantly trying to be liked by everyone, yeah, it's going to be difficult. But if you really find your authentic tribe and these people are on the same wavelength of your work and your environment and what you're doing, it's going to be so much easier. So maybe your new moon intention is oriented around your career and how you're seen. And those things will take time to amount to something. So by the time we get to the full moon in Pisces, which will fall in your 5th house, maybe you do really feel loved by the tribe you're in because you stayed with them and you weren't trying to appease to everyone. Okay, let's move forward to Sagittarius. The sun in Leo is falling in your 9th house. The new moon in Leo is also falling in your 9th house. So the Mercury in Virgo is falling in your 10th house. Sagittarius. Hello, lovely Sagittarians. The sun is trining Sagittarius. So this season's going to be a lot easier. I really do feel like this time for you guys is just, maybe some of you guys want to take a long trip. Some of you Sagittarius risings. Maybe some of you guys are getting ready to go back to school, higher education, and that new moon is really about setting goals that school year. Or maybe some of you guys really want to learn new things. When I say the 9th house, it's an umbrella for a lot of nouns and adjectives. But what I want to say about the 9th house is that it's really a beautiful time to understand that if some of you can't afford to go on a long distance trip, you could just try a new food, right? Like, there are so many ways of trying a culture without necessarily going to the place, and Sagittarius is one of the most creative signs. Some of you could just cook a meal at home and feel connected to a place. This is a great time to understand that Mercury in Virgo here is saying, I need to be more detail-oriented about my career and understand that It wants to clean things up for you so that you are feeling a flow into your career. Virgo is mutable, and so is Sagittarius. The relationship here is an actual square. So I think Sagittarius, it's really about understanding there might be moments of spiritual growth that is needed with your career, and you feel it around the new moon, August 16th, 2023, but you work through it by letting yourself realize that when you are doing what you love to do and you're healing through that, everything is in alignment. North Node in Aries is falling in your 5th house of love, inner child, children, and creativity. So, and even self-love. So here you're healing through that, and that's trining your sign. So when you're in that trine, in that flow of life, that's the time that you start noticing these things about your career, and you start really jotting them down, and you start tweaking. It's just little tweaks. That's all. Have a lovely new moon in Leo, Sagittarius. Let's move forward into Capricorn. Hello, lovely Capricorns. The sun here is falling. The sun in Leo is falling in your 8th house. And the new moon is falling in your 8th house as well. And Mercury in Virgo falls in your 9th house. So, Capricorn, you're really feeling this new moon, and you're feeling the fire. And some of you are ready to understand maybe how to make more money, how to get a little bit more coin in the bank account, how to understand how to maybe feel more intimate with yourself or others. And this is a great time for you guys to set new intentions with those themes. I feel the new moon is really a great time to set how you conduct business and even how you're intimate with other people. And that's falling on August 16th, 2023 in your 8th house. Maybe you feel as though you need to render the costs, or that you are actually going at a fixed pace with your expenses and want to keep things stable. Lovely Capricorn, let's remember, the sun here is felt by you, and you are feeling like you understand something about intimacy, you understand something about other people's resources. And Mercury in Virgo is here to make you more detail-oriented about your belief systems, higher education, and long-distance travel. So maybe you feel as though you have enough money saved and you want to take a trip. Maybe you feel as though you want to go to the next level with a partnership. This is around that time. Those kinds of energies will be unlocked. And maybe some of you really feel like you have accomplished enough aspects of yourself to learn something or to go back to school. This is a great time to put those intentions in. Venus will be in retrograde in Leo, and it will be in retrograde since July 2022, so till September 3rd. So maybe you feel like you need to understand your boundaries with others, people better. I also want to say Venus in retrograde will be trining Chiron and Aries. So there will be things where maybe you have to set more boundaries with your family. Maybe you need to set more boundaries with home life and really understand how you can make your home a safer place or a more ideal place for you. And I think that will really help understand some of the things you've been feeling and really help you move on to the next picture. Because Mercury in Virgo here in the 9th house does not want to get caught up in other people's issues. Mercury in Virgo wants you to focus on yourself and you to set boundaries. And it's really asking you, like, you need to have a new belief system to really carry through the things you know. And that's what's happening for you, lovely Capricorn. Okay, let's move forward to Aquarius. Sun in Leo is falling in your 7th house, and the new moon in Leo is falling in your 7th house, lovely Aquarius, Aquarius rising. Mercury in Virgo falls in your 8th house. Mercury in Virgo here is falling in your 8th house. So, lovely Aquarians, thanks for tuning into Underwater Astrology. Hello, okay, so lovely Aquarians, The sun is falling in your 7th house of partnerships. The new moon is falling in your 7th house of partnerships as well. The new moon in Leo is August 16, 2023. The new moon wants you to set intentions with partnerships. Maybe you want to attract better partnerships because Mercury is in fact here in Virgo falling in your 8th house, telling you how to attract better money with these partnerships. Or maybe some of you guys are feeling like you can open up to different partnerships in ways that you feel more intimate with. I think it's really important to understand the new moon brings in higher vibration to align with your set intention, and then the intention is put into vibrational alignment with the moon that starts waxing into a full moon, where you will feel the culmination of your new moon intentions. And so that full moon then falls on Pisces in your 2nd house. So then you'll feel with this new moon intention, I really highly suggest that some of you put into intention on being fixed on something and seeing where it leads, because on the 2nd house, on the full moon, I'm pretty sure you'll be validated in some way about something you knew, and that's going to be so exciting. And maybe you'll see through how other people value you and value yourself higher either way. And I think it's really important to realize that in life, even the little things amount to something beautiful, Aquarius. And that's the most important thing. And even when you try to do so many amazing things like you lovely Aquarians are always up to, it's so important to realize that sometimes you have to value yourself first and foremost before anyone else does. And Venus is going to be in retrograde in Leo, which starts July 2022, 2023 till September 3rd. So that's going to be about a month and a week long, and that's falling in your 7th house. So maybe there are some things about partnerships that you want to revise the energy around them to feel at peace with everything, because you are a fixed air and you really do need peace. And North Node in Aries here is in your 3rd house, and Chiron is also in your 3rd house. So maybe you feel like there's healing around how you communicate and you really are showing your authentic self, and that's really beautiful, and you feel like you're being seen in your authentic light, and like you are understanding that your siblings, short distance travel, how you communicate, your psyche, those things can be healing. And they take a while to really feel the healing effect. But when you look back with this Venus in retrograde in 7th house, you'll be like, wow, some partnerships really were healing through the more immediate communication or the more understanding we've done through all those years. So I'm so excited for you, Aquarius. Let's move on to Pisces. Hello, lovely Pisces. The sun in Leo is falling in your 6th house, and the new moon in Leo, in fact, is falling in your 6th house as well. And Mercury here in Virgo is also falling in your 7th house. The sun, Pisces, you are feeling this Leo sun really in the energy of your routine, your health, and your work. So you guys are really feeling like, wow, I really do feel a sustained fire around those aspects of health, work, routine. And it is really important to realize that it's really important not to do too much because you might get stressed out. But there are moments when you really are on it and you really go with the fire and it really does work. And it's so important to open your heart up to new routines, new health, lifestyles, and work, because those are the moments where you're going to have the epiphany, like, I'm on the right track. I feel a flow of life like Pisces do. But it's so important to set boundaries here with the 6th house, because sometimes you guys are feeling other people's energy and you really do feel like you are embodying something that's not yours, and you need to take a step back and come into your nature. And because you're a Pisces and you rule the 12th house, you guys need excessive amounts of time for rest. So make sure that you leave time for rest. Mercury in Virgo here is falling in your 7th house of partnerships. So it really is important to have the Sun opposition Mercury in Virgo, detailed Virgo, to clean up some of those partnerships you don't need, Pisces, some of those toxic relationships that you've been holding on to for so long out of your radical compassion. Pisces is one of the most compassionate signs. Pisces, Pisces rising. But there's a limit. There's a time when you have to cut certain people off. They're affecting your current relationships. They're affecting your friendships. They're affecting your psyche. They're affecting your subconscious. They're affecting how you sleep at night. And this is a time where I really do feel like it's a great time to do a little cleanup around that, because Mercury in Virgo is so detail-oriented, you can't go wrong. Maybe some of you want to attract a healthier lifestyle and a work environment, but you need to work through the relationship aspects first so that you can get into a healthy place to attract those new lifestyles. Or some of you are doing the healthier lifestyle and you have a solar opening, and then all of a sudden, all of these relationships are changing. I think it's a really good time to put in new moon intentions around putting your energy into things that are actually giving you energy back. Because the sixth house, sometimes you feel a little bit more tired. It really is important to do things that give you life here, Pisces. And I really do think that when you put things into this vibrational alignment of the new moon, of the eye, of the confidence, then we go into the waxing of the full moon and we go into the we. But we're not in the we yet. So it really is important to do your own intention. And then you can share it because it's Mercury and Virgo in the 7th house, and see what other people are doing around you. So with Chiron here in your 2nd house and the North Node here in your 2nd house, you are actually moving in the direction of being authentically valuing yourself, and the universe is working in that alignment. So it's like maybe you guys need more information on what's out there for having a more cleaner house, or having a healthier lifestyle, or even a better routine. That could be something where you guys are running, or something where you're drinking smoothies, or something where you're like getting more sun, something where something is coming back into you, like from the universe. Like, let me rephrase that. Maybe some of you just need to do a run, or maybe some of you need a new need a new diet, or some of you just need to have a more cleaner realm in your home so you can understand how to value yourself better. Okay, beautiful Pisces, that's all. Have a great new moon. Talk soon.